It was a shocking end to hockey season. Mitch Marner spoke up just now about how fans crossed a line. He shared what happened to his young family. All of this came after a tough playoff loss this spring. This is the moment he finally tells it all, and it will grab your attention right away. Mitch Marner spoke openly about what led him to leave the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner played 9 full seasons with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was one of the team's top players. He scored 741 points with 221 goals and 520 assists. In the playoffs, he had 63 points in 70 games. But after the team's 2025 playoff loss to the Florida Panthers, something happened that changed everything for him. Just hours after Toronto lost Game 7, Marner said he got a call from his wife's father. He told Marner that someone had posted their home address on the internet. The person invited others to come by and say goodbye in a quotation way. Marner said this wasn't just a normal fan reaction. He and his family took it very seriously. They brought in full-time security to guard their house for 2 weeks. He said, "When your family's safety comes into question, especially when you have a new son, I don't think that's acceptable." Marner said it became unsafe for him to do normal things like walking his dog or taking his child outside. He called it a little unfortunate to need guards just to feel safe in his own home. His agent, Darren Ferris, said this wasn't the first time things went too far. He said fans had thrown objects on Marner's property before. Ferris also said Marner had received death threats. One of those threats was tracked back to a teenager in Oakville, Ontario. It showed how far things had gotten. Marner said that most Leafs fans are kind and love the team, but during the hard moments, the angry ones become louder. He said, "The problem is that the love comments don't come out as much as the hatred ones, and that's just the way social media has turned into in a way." After the playoff loss and the threat at home, Marner and his wife started thinking about their future. They had a newborn baby. Marner said it didn't feel right to raise a child in that kind of fear. They decided it was time to leave Toronto. On June 30th, Marner signed an 8-year, $96 million contract with the Vegas Golden Knights. It was a sign and trade deal. Marner said it wasn't just a hockey decision. It was about safety and peace of mind. He said, "It was time to do what's best for our child, for our family." Leaving Toronto wasn't easy. Marner was born in the area. He grew up cheering for the Maple Leafs. He had always dreamed of playing for them. He said, "I'm forever grateful to be a Maple Leaf and wear that crest on my chest for 9 years. I tried to give everything I had. One of the hardest parts was saying goodbye to his teammate Austin Matthews." Marner said he called Matthews to tell him the news. That phone call to him was pretty tough. "It was pretty emotional," Marner said. The Leafs never made it past the second round while Marner was there. Still, he played strong in the playoffs, averaging almost a point per game. But the Game 7 loss to Florida was rough. The team lost 6-1. Marner said he came home that night feeling sad and disappointed. Then, right away, he got the call about his home address being posted. That was the moment he knew things had changed. He said, "It's not just about one moment. It's a lot of little things adding up." After that night, the family didn't go out alone. Guards were there 24 hours a day. Marner said he had to be protected just to walk outside. He said, "We had people sending us screenshots of a guy posting our address online. The message said something like, 'Come by and say your goodbyes.' It was a scary thing." His agent confirmed the reports. Ferris said people had thrown things into their yard before, and that wasn't the first threat. Marner had received more in the past. The difference this time was that it happened right after a playoff loss. It felt targeted. It felt dangerous. Toronto's hockey market is one of the most intense in the NHL. Fans love the team deeply, but sometimes emotions run high. Marner said, "The market's very passionate. They love the team, but sometimes the anger gets louder than the support." When he thought about staying in Toronto, Marner said he started thinking about more than just himself. He thought about his baby son. He thought about his wife. He thought about safety. That's what made the decision clear. He said, "We loved our time there. We loved the city, but we felt it was time to go." Now he's starting fresh in Las Vegas. The Golden Knights are hoping he'll help them win another Stanley Cup. But even though he's moved on, Marner hasn't forgotten Toronto. He said, "It's always going to be a place I care about. I'll always respect the people who cheered me on." Marner will play in Toronto again on January 23rd, 2026. That's when the Golden Knights face the Maple Leafs at Scotiabank Arena. It's expected to be an emotional return. Some fans may cheer, others might boo. Marner joked, "They didn't plan that one well. I would have liked it to be just one day in Toronto." The team will be on the second night of a back-to-back, so the atmosphere may be intense. Still, Marner says he doesn't blame all fans for what happened. He said, "Most fans were great to me, but when your family is scared, it's time to make a change." He said the threats came from a small group, but it only takes one threat to make someone feel unsafe. Other players in the NHL have started speaking up about fan behavior too. Some have said that online abuse and real-life threats are becoming more common. Marner's story shows how hard it can be for players even when they play well. He said, "I want to go to work, play hockey, and come home to my son. That's all." Now with Vegas, Marner said he wants to focus on hockey and family. He said he feels better knowing his loved ones are safer now. He said the move was not just about points or trophies. It was about feeling okay at home. That's something every player wants. And now, Marner finally has it.
It's a difficult thing now dealing with Russian players with what's going on.
Obviously, there's Ivan Demidov. I think there's some Russian factor there.
The amount of talent this kid has is tremendous.
We're 5th overall, and you're still there. What, are we crazy if we don't take you? Yeah.
Ivan Demidov has a secret addiction that even his closest teammates don't know about. But that's just one of the shocking things you never knew about the Russian prodigy Montreal fans call demigod. His jersey number is a promise to Montreal fans. When Ivan put on number 93 for the first time, he knew exactly what he was doing. His favorite number was 91, but a teammate already had it, so Ivan had to pick something else. He could have chosen any number, but he picked 93 for a reason. "I know this number represents the last time the team won the Stanley Cup," Ivan said in an interview back in 1993. This was not an accident. Ivan knew Montreal fans had been waiting 30 years for another championship. 30 long years of disappointment, 30 years of hope turning into heartbreak. By wearing 93, Ivan was not just picking a random number. He was making a statement. He was telling fans that he understood their pain, that he was here to end it. Every time Ivan puts on that jersey, he's wearing a promise. A visible reminder that he's not just here to play hockey. He's here to bring the cup back to Montreal. The fans named him Demigod before he even got to Montreal. Most hockey players get their nicknames from teammates or coaches. Ivan Demidov got his from people he had never met. It started in online forums. Montreal fans were watching videos of this Russian kid playing in the MHL. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Kids his age don't play like that. Kids his age don't make those passes. Someone posted a highlight video with the comment, "This kid plays like a demigod." The name stuck. Soon, thousands of fans were using it. Hashtag demigod was trending on social media. People were making art with his face and the nickname. They were buying jerseys with demigod on the back before he was even drafted. The crazy part? Ivan was still in Russia. He had never been to Montreal. He had never met these fans. But they believed in him so much that they gave him a name that meant he was half god, half human. They called him the Russian Crosby, and it almost broke him. Ivan was 14 when the newspapers first printed it, the Russian Crosby, right there on the front page of a Moscow sports paper. He had just finished a junior season that didn't seem real. 22 goals and 18 assists in just 15 games. Kids his age weren't supposed to dominate like that. But with the nickname came pressure. Suddenly, everyone was watching him. Scouts were taking notes. Other players were trying to hit him harder. Everyone wanted to see if this kid really was the next Sidney Crosby. Most 14-year-olds would have cracked under that weight. But when a reporter asked Ivan about the comparison, he looked right at the camera and said something that shocked everyone. "I don't think about that. I think about my next shift." That calm response told everyone something important about Ivan. He wasn't just skilled, he was mentally strong. He practices stick handling in complete darkness. Ivan's dad thought his son was losing his mind. It was 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Most kids Ivan's age were asleep or playing video games, but Ivan was in his room with his stick and a puck, in the dark. "What are you doing?" his dad asked when he found him. "Learning to feel the puck instead of just seeing it," Ivan answered, never stopping his movements. His dad watched as Ivan moved the puck left and right, around his feet, behind his back, all without being able to see anything, just pure feel. This wasn't a one-time thing. Ivan did this for hours, night after night. It helped him feel the puck instead of just seeing it, his dad later told a local coach. He broke a record that belonged to an NHL star. While North American fans were watching Connor Bedard, Ivan Demidov was quietly making history in Russia. In the 2024-25 KHL season, Ivan did something special. He broke a record that belonged to Kirill Kaprizov. You know, the guy who lights up the NHL for Minnesota. Kaprizov held the record for most points by a player under 20 in a single KHL season. It was a big record. Kaprizov is one of the best players in the world. But Ivan beat it. He got 49 points in his first pro season. At 18 years old, playing against grown men who had been playing professionally for years. The crazy part? Most people didn't even notice. While everyone was talking about draft picks in North America, Ivan was proving he could dominate at the highest level in Russia. He learned hockey on the streets, not on ice. Ivan Demidov isn't just another hockey prospect. He's a young man carrying the hopes of an entire city on his shoulders. And from everything we've seen, he's ready for that weight. Ivan Demidov's first hockey games weren't in fancy arenas. They weren't even on ice. Picture this. A cold street in Sergiev Posad, just outside Moscow. Snow everywhere. A group of kids with beat-up sticks and a rubber ball. No helmets, no rules, just pure hockey. Ivan was the smallest kid out there, but his hands moved faster than anyone else's. While other kids chased the ball around, Ivan made it dance on his stick. He could fake left and go right without even looking at the defender. Even at 8 years old, he could make you look stupid, one neighbor remembered years later. "We thought he had magic in his stick." The older kids started picking him first, not because he was big or strong, because he could do things that didn't make sense. He would spin around 3 players and score like it was easy. He never loses his cool under pressure. Ivan has been dealing with crazy pressure since he was a teenager, but he has a secret weapon. He never panics. When reporters ask him tough questions, he stays calm. When other players try to get in his head, he just smiles. When fans expect him to be the next great thing, he focuses on his next shift. His coaches notice this right away. Most young players get nervous in big moments. Their hands shake. They make bad passes. They try to do too much. Not Ivan. The bigger the moment, the calmer he gets. It's like pressure makes him better, not worse. His draft day changed everything.
The Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
When Ivan heard his name called by Montreal, something changed inside him. He was sitting with his family, watching on a computer screen from Russia. Most draft picks smile and wave when they get picked. Ivan did something different. He closed his eyes for a moment. Then he looked at his parents and said quietly, "Now, the real work begins." That moment wasn't about celebration for Ivan. It was about responsibility. He knew Montreal fans had been waiting for someone like him. He knew they needed him to be special. The love story that keeps him grounded. Behind every great athlete is someone who keeps them human. For Ivan, that person is Katya. Ekaterina Yakovleva has been with Ivan since before he was famous. She was there when he was just a kid with big dreams. She's still there now that those dreams are coming true. When Ivan faces tough times, Katya is his rock. When the pressure gets too much, she reminds him why he started playing hockey in the first place. When fans expect him to be perfect, she reminds him that